Hello, my YouTube friends and family. I want to show you today some of the recent purchases I made. Actually, the purchase was over 9 months ago. It took a long time for some of them to come in. And also give a shout out to some of the tools that have been sent to me by sweet, sweet friends in the pottery community. So here's one of my new favorite things. Wow, what great cutoff tool is this? It even has my name on it, my pottery name. And I've got two of them here. And I believe they're basically the same. But this little wire looks like fishing line, and each one of them has a little knot in between. Every so often there's a little knot in it, or it could be where it's just melted together. But I'm gonna check it out. I knew it. Look at that. It makes kind of a neat pattern when you cut. So let's see what I could do with if I can get this back on here. Let's see what I could do with it if I squiggled it. So let me put this over here. Let me just flatten that out on there. We'll center it up a little bit, just to mash it down. Get going pretty fast. Okay, that doesn't have to be perfectly centered because I'm just going to cut it off, but let's see what happens. We're using this one. It's almost like one of those little spring wires, the little wavy wire, or whatever it's called. Okay. This is going to be interesting. All right, I don't have a place to hang it yet. Okay, so let's... Okay, well, you can see on here and on here that looks kind of like a spider web in a way. Let's see. Maybe I can make some kind of different. I'll mash it all down again. And we'll see. A lot of people just make a curved, they barely turn the wheel and they make a curved. I mean, I never had one of these squiggly wires, but they'll put it down and do that. Where it's a simpler design, it isn't as much. I wiggled it pretty vigorously, and now I'm getting this all dirty. I mean, it is clay, right? Okay, so let's flip that over. Oh, yeah. So it makes that kind of a design. That would be pretty cool on the bottom of some of my pots. Let's see, I could put my little stamp right there. I don't have my little plastic thing. That looks great. Okay, Freddie, I love this. Thank you very much for these. And these are going to be very useful because it's just the right size for this size wheel, and to cut off a pot, if I'm just cutting it off straight, I can just do like that. So And that one just would go straight across. That is awesome. Thank you so much. Freddie is the maker of this little gizmo that goes around. It has a rubber band in here, and it goes around the rim of a pot, just right along the top. And he also made, where did I put them? I bet I have them soaking out on the patio to get them clean. He made me a couple of throwing sticks that also have my name on them. And it, you know, it has Broken Arrow Pottery on it, just like that. And I love those. I use them all the time. So, and that's why they're out on the patio soaking, because I decided I'd clean my studio up today and try to get some stuff done. So I'll bring you another favorite tool, because I have several and that people have given me and sent to me. So let's get started here. I ordered this, actually, I think I ordered what I thought was going to be a Shimpo, but it was so long, it was 9 months before it even got to the United States, and it's an extruder. Let's see if I can get the whole thing on camera. It's one of those handheld extruders, and I was afraid it was going to be too hard for me to operate because I've seen Joe Thompson at Old Forge Creations. I saw him pressing this lever here down on the edge of a table, and I was afraid that meant that it was going to be really hard to operate, but it hasn't been. I've been perfectly, I mean, it's just like a caulking gun, only at the end of it, excuse me, we have wind, we have 60-mile-an-hour winds. We have had for about the last 15 days. And usually we will have a storm that follows big wind like this, but we haven't had. And it's a real odd, it's very odd, the weather. Anyway, so I get a little choked up. So I have to take a drink every once in a while just to, you know, keep everything slick. Okay, so these are the plates, or I guess templates, that comes with this extruder, and they're all messy because I've played with them, and you know, you don't have to go clean them off. It doesn't, I thought I was going to have to wash this whole thing out every time I used it, but actually what I've done is I just unscrew the end of it, and with the plunger all the way down, let's see if I can, maybe if I hold it like that, you can see inside there. I can't seem to make it go down right now. I probably have some dried clay in there, but the plunger comes almost all the way to this part when it runs out of clay. And so I just take my finger or stick or something and pull most of the moist clay out of there, and just retract the plunger and allow it to dry, and then the next time you use it, you can just shake the stuff out of there. So this is how it works. You know, you put this here, or you can put it in here and screw it on and just squish it like a caulking gun. And I ordered these extra templates from Joe in Great Britain. Excuse me. So there are several of these templates that I thought would be useful, because everybody makes a lot of mugs. I mean, that's your bread and butter, right? So handles, I've never even these little things like, let's see. This thing right here is supposed to be a, put it behind something that you can see. It's supposed to be a handle puller. Yeah. I would either want to actually hand pull all my handles, but this saves me a lot of time because I can extrude a whole big long line of them and then cut them off like he does, and have tons of handles, whatever width I want them to be. And I've been playing with this. Anyway, it's kind of messy. And then these I also got, and it comes in a little bag with, he even is courteous enough to send you a little drill bit that you can use. I'm having a hard time seeing if I'm on camera. So there's a little drill bit that you can use with these. So you lay this on the bottom of a pot, and let me see if I can kind of demonstrate just a bit here. Okay, here's a little pot. So you would center that up on the bottom of the pot and then put the drill bit through there and twist it a little bit and mark your place. So with this set, there are several sizes and several densities of holes. So, and you don't have to use every hole. You can just use this like if you wanted to just mark directions on something, or even get one side or the other for like sponge holders or something, so you can tell where you need to put the slit. They're marked, and there's, I would imagine this one would be for like a soap holder or soap drainer type thing. And there are even some little ones. And you know, we're like, I sew as well, so a lot of you know that. You've seen my quilting videos, but we love gadgets. Craftspeople love gadgets. And this is a useful gadget. I mean, we're always looking for that ultimate thing that's gonna help us do better and make more beautiful things, or do it faster and more efficient. So anyway, I want to show you those. Also from Joe, I'm putting this back in the bag so I can keep that little drill bit handy. Also from Joe, let me set this over here somewhere. This was just so sweet. Okay, I'll move this part over here. So from Joe, I received this, one of his beautiful, famous, let me get on, okay, there we go. One of these beautiful mugs or cups that he makes. Now, to me, this is, I would eat soup out of that, and a lot of it, because this is huge. What happened was, and the reason I have this is, I guess you could say I won it. I got lucky. I had come home a few months ago. Actually, I think now it's been about a year. I had come home from the last of 7 funerals, and not all at once, but in a pretty short period of time. And it was Valentine's Day morning, and so I woke up early before the sun was up, actually, here in the United States, and got online to see what messages I had and to just kind of catch up with the world. And and so I was checking my own email on Broken Arrow Pottery, and of course some of your subscribers will post things, and so I was looking at see what everybody had posted. Well, I'd been gone, I was out of state, and I don't know, I just was trying to make contact with the world. I had left a little while before that, and so there was Joe, and I forget what his video was about. I think it might have been about these pots, these particular ones, and he was having a special thing. Not, could have been Mother's Day, but I think it was Valentine's Day. And my cousin, one of whose funerals I had just attended, who was kind of like a father to me, because my father was made a career of the Navy, and he was overseas quite a bit. And so this cousin of mine was like a father to me, but he was also my best friend. And he always called me on holidays. Mother's Day, Easter, Valentine's, April Fool's, just whatever day it was, if it was a special day. Well, he called me and we talked. If he didn't call me, I called him. But we always touched base with each other then, because we lived in different states. So anyway, Joe was having a giveaway, and this was it. He said that, I don't remember, I think it was the first person that emailed and said they wanted it to email him and speak up for it, and he would send it free of charge and as a gift for Valentine's Day. So I thought, well, I'm never really lucky, you wouldn't say, I guess. I don't always win things that I enter for, but I thought, what the heck, I will send Joe an email and speak up for this cup. It's beautiful. It's pink, and it has kind of a speckledy pink on the inside, and it's got his famous little indentions here that are just beautiful, and there is just the perfectly made. His work is so perfect. I would just love to be able to, I don't know what kind of clay it is, but I think this is porcelain. And he's got his little maker's mark there, and his famous little handles that he makes, and he shows us on his videos how to make them. He shows us how to trim and glaze, and he's just really excellent. He'd be a good mentor for anybody who's learning pottery, or for some of us old people that have been doing it for a while. But this is so beautiful, and I received it a couple of weeks after that, and it's been a long time, and my apologies for not showing you all this sooner, but I've kind of been doing some self-care, and I thought I could get through this without crying, but this was just, anyway, he shortly after the email, I think by the end of the day or the next morning, he sent me a return email saying that I had won this and to expect it in, I don't know, I think it took maybe 10 days or something for it to get over here. But anyway, I wanted to show you this and tell Joe how much I appreciate this. It was very timely, and thank you. I will treasure this. So, let me get a Kleenex here. Okay, other things here. This one is, this is from Eddie Goller from Eddie's Pottery. And you guys have probably seen him. He makes videos and shows how he's an expert on, he's just an engineer and a half. He's an expert on the chemicals that go into glazes. And he's just a pro. And he sent me this. It's made, I think it's oak. It's beautiful. It's been stained, and he beveled the edges of it. So if you're wondering what it is, it's a throwing stick for bowls, because he was inspired by this one that I made from clay. And mine is smaller, of course, but what I do is, I'll use this for an example. I would put either end of this inside of a bowl, and then to lay the, oh, there went my dryer, to lay the, to spread the walls of a bowl or to lay them down, then I could just lean this out and lean this out depending on the size of it. So Eddie thought, and this is an excellent idea, because with this I can also do plates. I can lean that all the way down from a bowl shape. I can lean this all the way down and just make a plate just as beautifully smooth. And if you do it gradually enough, you're just spreading the clay all the way out. And here's a smaller end, but it's long enough that you have control over both ends of it. And it's just been real handy. And I love this. This is a real nice thing that he did, and I just love it. So thank you, Eddie. Eddie is recovering right now, and but he'll be back in the studio soon, I'm sure, because he's a tough guy, and he's a sweet one, and I appreciate this. Thank you, Eddie. So, something else, let's see. I clean these up a little bit. You know, it's kind of a waste of time sometimes to clean thoroughly. Freddie Moretti sent these throwing sticks to me, and he even put my name on them. It says Broken Arrow Pottery, JW Throwing. So these are throwing sticks. And he made a couple of sizes and sent those to me. And he also, I just feel so honored to have this. This was inspired by, Freddie has a 3D printer. And so when he was learning how to use it and program it and all that stuff, he was making things, you know, and just kind of made use of the things that he was making by giving gifts to his friends on YouTube. And it's so much appreciated that I was even thought of. The other thing, this one was inspired by Von Smith out of Nova Scotia. He has the Westcote Bell Pottery in Nova Scotia, and he's another pro potter. He has a little wooden thing that he made that's similar to this. And so Freddie took the idea, and this is for finishing the rim of the pot. And if you've watched Vaughn Smith, and I think you should if you haven't, he will show you how to use this. So as this is spinning, and this is just a rubber band, this can be replaced. It needs to be a little bit loose and flexible so that you can tilt it this way and this way. But this will compress your rim, and it'll be so beautiful on the edge, and it gives a nice kind of rounded edge. And I just love this. Anyway, Freddie made it. I think those guys are they were immediate friends because they're from the same part of the world. I think Freddie is from Scotland, possibly, and I think Vaughn is from somewhere over there, but anyway, they're kind of kindred spirits. And so Freddie also engraved this one with my name on it. This unit belongs to JW, and that's me. So one more thing I want to show you. Now, this I didn't buy, and I made this one myself, but I just wanted to tag this in here. I make some of my own ribs, and this one I thought, these so the way I finished them before, this one got finished that way too. When I first started making my own ribs, I would put, after they're bisque fired, I would put acrylic floor wax on them to try to keep the clay and everything, just keep it from absorbing water and just becoming a mess. But I still have clay sticking to them, as clay sticks to everything, but it just seemed to be more on this than I needed for it to be. So I knew that the answer was to find something that was slick and would stay slick, like a regular rib, like these kind of ribs do on here. They're easy to clean. So this one may not be long for the world because I made it half as thick. This one is finished, I guess. This one, that's just a real 1/8 of an inch. And this one is about 3/8. So this one I haven't broken. I don't think I even have chips in it, but I have a brick floor here where I work, and so if I drop something that is one of these ribs that I made, it's usually a goner. So I made another one. I put a bigger hole in it to hang on to, so I can use this on the outside of a pot, and I can use this on the inside of a pot. And I put a little step right here. So anyway, the main thing I wanted to show you was that I glazed it and fired it to cone. So I haven't used it yet, but we'll see how this works. And this may be the preferred way of finishing your handmade ribs if you're making them yourself. So that's kind of it for this video. I just wanted to shout out finally to Joe to thank him for this beautiful cup, and it's just so pretty and I love it, especially because of the day and the time that it was awarded to me. I needed something really that day to really lift my spirits, because I had come home really late the night before and just fell into bed and couldn't sleep, and was up really before the chickens the next day, and I really needed something positive and beautiful in my life, and this was it. And just knowing that it was coming, and gave me something to look forward to and all that. And I love this from Eddie. This is just one of the best things here. And these this thing from Freddie. This is just wonderful. I love this, and it's usually caked up with clay, but I cleaned it for you. And I love these sticks. I've just about worn the point off of some of them, but you can just rub them on something like concrete. Actually, I just rub it on one of the bricks on the floor, and it just puts that edge right back on it. So anyway, thank you for watching my video and for being a subscriber and a watcher of Broken Arrow Pottery. Then I'll sign off for now. Thank you. Love you guys. Bye-bye.